Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Natiluv Tarot. Quick disclaimer that anything done on this channel is strictly for entertainment. Why is there this one card? I feel like this is significant for the reading I'm about to do today with the Four of Swords here. I feel like the energy is saying that after this, we need to lay this shit to rest. But anywho, welcome to my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe, and watch the movie watch the video until its entirety, okay? And again, disclaimer, strictly for entertainment purposes only. Everything here is alleged. We will be doing a reading on Beyonce and Rihanna since they don't collab together, or really you don't see them interacting. It was requested. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, my information is in the description box below, or you can email NatiluvTarot@gmail.com. So we can do that. So let's start here. Let me just get some tea cards out, Spirit. The energy between Beyonce and Rihanna. Energy between Beyonce and Rihanna. Energy between Beyonce and Rihanna, Spirit. Okay. Energy between Rihanna and Beyonce. Let's take all of these. Okay. We got Lost, Sneaky Link, Knocked Up, The Blues, Swept Up, Heart to Heart, and Detective. Baby, all of this is over a man. And I'm not even quite sure why. Because this man in particular, he whose name shall not be named. However, they compare him to a horse. Y'all know who I'm talking about. This is all over him. So basically, guys, from Beyonce's standpoint, what I'm picking up is that she feels like her man was all over Rihanna. And she feels like Rihanna let that occur. She feels like Rihanna was the third party in her relationship and that they were being inappropriate with each other by having sexual relations. Again, guys, this is strictly entertainment purposes only, all alleged. All right. They were having sexual relations and it was being swept up under the rug, and people were ignoring it and acting like as if he wasn't in a committed relationship to Beyonce. However, from Rihanna's standpoint, she feels like, well, I'm just strictly here to do my job, and he was being inappropriate. However, I had to do what I had to do to get myself up out the slums of where I was at. And now that I've gotten to a certain point in my life, I can evolve and I don't have to deal with that nonsense. So when you think about it, he played on both of their emotions. He played on Beyonce's emotions. He played on Rihanna's emotions, because Rihanna was a young girl and she was looking for a way out. And that was kind of like her meal ticket out. And he played on her vulnerability during that time. And Beyonce, being young and aloof, she doesn't understand that aspect of it. She's just looking at it as there's a hussy all over my man. And I know she's all over my man, but they're going to sit here and pretend that they're not doing the do, or they're not dealing with each other. Spirit is saying that Beyonce was snooping around and she did find out some information, and she's stuck with it since. So the relationship hasn't been the best from the beginning of time, because she kind of knows what the foundation was built on with their working relationship with Rihanna and he whose name shall not be named. There is an energy here of them needing to have a conversation with each other, with the heart to heart here, because I feel like if they were to actually talk, Beyonce would realize certain things and maybe her mindset would change a little bit in regards to how she views Rihanna and how she feels, because I think they're both in adulthood now where they can kind of reason a little bit better and understand certain things. I just think that because they never had that conversation, and there's like a lot of speculation and a lot of things found out and certain things that's misconstrued, it's just their vibe is we just don't rock with each other. But they need to talk. They need to talk. So yes, there was some type of sexual relations that took place. I'm standing firm on that. Okay. Let's look at Beyonce's standpoint. Beyonce's standpoint to the situation. Okay. Beyonce's standpoint towards the situation with Rihanna. Beyonce's standpoint. Beyonce's standpoint. Okay, Beyonce's standpoint is very much coming from a very emotional standpoint. She feels like I am the total package. I'm an empress. I look good. I take care of myself. I'm stable. I'm talented. I'm gorgeous. What is it that you don't see in me that you felt like you needed to go to that direction or that route? Because she feels like she's very confident within herself. She feels like she's a leader. And she just can't quite understand what was it about. Like, why did he take the opportunity? Why did he take that bait? Like, why did he go towards that? And the thing is, she's also looking at Rihanna as a threat, a bombshell as well. Because she's looking at her and she's saying, this girl is beautiful. She's tall, she's beautiful, she's petite, she's as talented as well. Like, what you know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those situations where it's like, I can't trust this. It's like the insecurity plays out. And it makes her very emotional. It makes her kind of upset as to what about me? Like, why? She feels like justice needs to be served to her. Because she feels like Rihanna knew better, and Rihanna knew this man had a relationship. And a lot of the time she contemplates on the justice. She thinks about the situation between them constantly. The King of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, and the Emperor came out. She feels like she has to kind of... She's dealt with a lot of sadness and depression in regards to the situation. And she's spent a lot of late nights crying about it. Meanwhile, her man is out living his best life and making money and being very stern and stubborn about the situation. Like with that Emperor card, it's giving very much like, I'm the king of the castle and I just told you this is what is taking place and this is what's happening. I need you to chill out and relax. And there's times that she wanted to move forward, but she felt like she just couldn't. It's like she's bounded to him. Yeah, she feels like him dealing with Rihanna on the side, it caused a lot of like delays for her. Like certain things that they were working on together had to get pushed back, or it became time consuming because he was spending a lot of time working on Rihanna's stuff. And she didn't like that. Plus the Devil card just came out. She felt like he was like in lust with her. He was addicted to her energy and her aura. And it bothered her. Which is, I mean, it makes sense too, guys, because it's like when you're dealing with somebody, you want to be the only one. And when you know that there's other people in the mix, or they're desiring someone outside of you, it really hurts your self-esteem. It hurts your pride. It makes you wonder, what about me? Then we have to keep in mind too that, you know, Beyonce back then to Beyonce now, I mean, she was famous, but she didn't have like that full clout or pull the way she would have now. So it's kind of like she had to kind of zip her lips and sit back and continue to speculate and play detective. You know what I'm saying? But a wish fulfillment came for her, because now she feels like, all right, Rihanna's attention is drawn to somewhere else. So in a way, she kind of feels like she low-key got a little lick back when it came towards Jay-Z, because now she's looking at it as the woman that you desired and wanted to be around. Now she has her forever person or her soulmate, and you don't get to have that energy. However, Beyonce is not going to come forth and say that, you know, I had some issues, in regards to Rihanna, I felt some type of way because I felt insecure. I felt, you know, I had displaced anger. Instead of me being completely upset at my man, I'm taking it out on her. And I wasn't mature enough to realize the circumstances at that point. The fact that she was a young girl. It's almost like she was groomed, you know, the same way she was groomed. But this is something that's really hard for her, that she constantly has to deal with, because this is somebody that she has to constantly see in the industry, someone who has high success, just as much success as she does. And it's kind of hard to, you know what I'm saying, to kind of block this girl out. But it's almost like she made a vow to herself that she wasn't going to, you know, intertwine her emotions and her energy and her career with hers. Like, she just wanted them to be completely separate entities because of how she felt about this girl dealing with her husband at one point in time, or her man. So yeah, there's definitely 5 of Wands. There's definitely bad blood there. She's not happy. And as much as a collaboration would have made sense, her pride wouldn't allow her to do it because she was just too upset with Rihanna. It's like, guys, it's almost like it gives me the energy of like she blames Rihanna more than she blames her man about the situation. And I'm not saying Rihanna's not at fault, because I mean, we all have free will and we can say no. But I feel like the position that she was placed in, you know, anybody probably would have took the bait, especially coming from where she's coming from and having that once in a lifetime opportunity. She did what she had to do. And unfortunately, a lot of artists in the industry, you know, they do things that they really don't want to do to get to the top until they're able to make decisions for themselves. Now, Spirit, let's look at Rihanna's point of view with this. Rihanna's point of view. What is Rihanna's point of view? Okay. Rihanna regrets this. It's a big regret in her life. She wishes that she wasn't intertwined to that. She gets emotional about it because she feels like at this point in her life, like when she looks back and she reflects on it, she just doesn't it's not that she doesn't understand, but she just can't believe that she endured so much when it came to Jay-Z. And the Empress card is here. This signifies a very fertile, abundant, wealthy person. It can mean pregnancy too, but in this case we're not talking about pregnancy. Although for some reason I do pick up a pregnancy scare that could have drew a wedge in between the situation. Like, I don't know why I feel like low-key behind the scenes there was a pregnancy scare. Guys, again, this is all entertainment and alleged, but I do pick that up. And that could be also why too the knocked up card came out of the T cards. There was an alleged pregnancy, and that made the situation even more, you know, complicated, even though there obviously no baby came out of it. Rihanna feels like she's looking at things with clarity right now. She's always looked at things with clarity. She understands the technicality of things, and she understands how Bey could feel, but she also wants Bey to understand how she felt and the position that she was put in and what that would have meant to her career, because it could have been detrimental. And with the Justice and the 6 of Wands here, this is Spirit saying that she acknowledges her mistake. She's apologetic about her mistake, but she too was a victim in the situation. And with that being said, she's going to always rise above it, okay? She's not going to be just left out to suffer. She accepted what was going on, and it's with like pureness, you know? Rihanna always feels left out in the cold when it comes to Beyonce. She just feels like this woman doesn't like me. This woman doesn't want my energy around. She doesn't trust me around her man, rightfully so. And there's just no genuineness or authenticity amongst us. So why would we work together? It's like when it comes to Beyonce, Rihanna just wants to kind of crawl to a corner and stay in her space. She wants to be alone. She doesn't want to be in, you know, that energy. And it really hurts her because she actually looks up to Beyonce and she likes Beyonce's music and she likes her as an artist. But unfortunately, due to the circumstances, she has to protect her peace and protect her boundaries. And she just has to look at things with clarity and truth and accept things for what they are. And just focus more so on her family life. That is Rihanna's point of view. Spirit, will they ever be able to actually at least have a conversation? at some point in time? Will they be able to have a conversation? Spirit is saying yes, they will be able to have a conversation, but like in the future, not anytime soon, because Spirit is saying right now there is like a lot of mental back and forth, and there's a lot of things mentally that they're both not seeing on each side. Spirit is saying that at some point in time they will get that download to come towards each other to be able to talk and kind of somewhat work it out, and it's going to be divinely guided. So yes, there's hope for these two women to potentially talk it out and get to a place to where they maybe one day in the future can collab together. But as of right now, they definitely are not having that conversation. They're definitely not going to collab with each other. It's still some hard feelings and animosity, more so on Beyonce's part than Rihanna's part. Rihanna's more so ready to just forgive and move forward and, you know, continue to repent and just do what she has to do and live her life. Beyonce just feels like I was disrespected, I was slighted, I was embarrassed, and I always have to kind of take an L behind the scenes. Like, I don't know. This is not... Yeah, the Star card. There will be healing amongst them. It will be. But before there could be healing, there has to be chaos. So there's going to be a lot of, you know, back and forth behind the scenes drama between them with animosity and feelings. But eventually, and I pick up more so what's going to happen is that Jay-Z and Beyonce, they're going to get to a point in their relationship where Beyonce more so starts to feel like, I know my worth. I really don't want to deal with this. Now is not the time for this. And she's going to slowly start separating herself from Jay-Z. And when she's going through that awakening, her eyes, you know, like her mental, it's like her chakras are going to start opening up more, especially her crown and her third eye. And she's going to start realizing, reevaluating a lot of relationships that she savored or cut ties with or refused to go towards because of Jay-Z. And she's going to start realizing that some of them are just not worth going back to, but some of them are worth revisiting or trying to understand. And she's going to try to somewhat right her wrongs during that time when she starts having that awakening. And that's when she'll be open to healing and actually talking to Rihanna behind the scenes. Because I pick up the energy of, outside of the situation with Jay-Z and the animosities and the strong feelings towards that, they actually would really like each other. Their personalities would go well together, and they would make some amazing music together and collab really well. But it's just that Jay-Z is that wedge in between them, and it makes it hard. And Beyonce also has to process her feelings more to get to a point of forgiveness. Rihanna is kind of like there already. Like she's ready to, you know, be upfront and be frank and welcome her with open arms, as well as receive any, you know, apologies or forgiveness from her as well, because she's done her little fair share of dirt behind the scenes going towards Rihanna too. All right. So guys, this was the reading between Beyonce and Rihanna. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And again, come and book me for a reading. Thank you guys for tuning in. Bye-bye.